Hello and welcome to another edition of Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, business, money, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. And in this episode, I have a lot of guests bringing to you on the show. I'm actually going to be sharing with you the Empowerment and Hope Summit that took place on February 4th, 2017. And I would like you to meet some of the participants. Also, I would like you to meet some of the speakers and myself at that summit. It was an action-packed summit. But before we go there, first of all, you know how we roll on the show with a motivational quote. So my motivational quote from today is from First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt. And she said, "Do one thing every day that scares you." Whoa, that is a mouthful. And I got this also from an uncommon place. I got this from Canva. If you are familiar with Canva, it's called canva.com. It's a platform online where you can edit pictures. For those of you who are scared about editing pictures because you do not have the technical skills, trust me, Canva has got you covered. Canva helps rookies to create nice pictures like professionals. And each time you download your created work, Canva sends it out to you with a quote. And that was how I got this quote by Eleanor Roosevelt. And I'm going to take it again. It says, "Do one thing that scares you every day." Meaning, even if your dream or your goal seems scary, do it anyway. Don't worry. Do it anyway. Do you know that mistakes and setbacks are not bad things? They are learning processes. If you do a mistake, or if you make a mistake, or you try to do something and it didn't work out, it's not because you are not good enough. It's just because you are going through a learning process. So do one thing that scares you every day, like Eleanor Roosevelt has charged us to do. And this quote, again, I said, is from canva.com. So welcome to the show. I have for you on the show, I had on the, during the summit, actually, I had people who registered from UK, somebody registered from Canada, from Georgia, from Florida, and of course, several people from here in the Twin Cities were there. And I had two people traveled all the way from Grand Rapids, Minnesota to the Twin Cities to attend this action-packed summit. So tip for you, register for the next one. It's going to be in the description below. Click the link and register, because the next one is coming up in September 2017, September 15 and 16 is going to be a 2-day event full of actions where you'll be taking different kinds of actions, including building a website using Blogger platform, because Blogger platform is really cheap. It's the cheapest so far that I've found. It's cheap, it's easy to use for a newbie, and even if you are one of the old dogs and the veterans, you can still use Blogger too. And you know, you're also going to be learning graphics, easy way through Canva, you know, and even, you know, the quote of today came from Canva. So through Canva, you'll be learning. I will have an expert showing you how to easily create your own graphics looking like a professionally made graphics. Don't go away as we go into the clips and tips from the summit. The regular conference where you just come to take notes. You're going to actually be doing the work from here. And those who joined the Facebook group earlier, there were work being done in that Facebook group. One of the main things or one of the main takeaways from this summit is to be able to have your own online portfolio in form of a website. Because in 2017, if you do not have a website, it's like you are still living in the Stone Age. Yes, if you don't have at least one website, because now everybody is impatient and employers don't have the time. See now, when you apply for jobs, it goes through a machine, and the machine has been pre-programmed to look for certain keywords. Now we talk about keywords to find out if what you're looking for is in your resume. And if you happen not to have that in your resume, what happens? You get dropped off. You find out you're applying for all these jobs, you're not getting called for an interview. And if you eventually get called for an interview, you show up, but you only have this short amount of time to tell them whatever you need to say to them. But guess what? If you have a website and you even just put a link in your resume and it goes through, or they are searching just generally for some kind of opportunities that they think they can fill in the company, and a keyword happens to be to match your own website and portfolio, that HR person will go to your link and go look. And when the person gets to your website, the person keeps looking more like, oh, this person has done this, oh, this person does this person. And before you know it, you already sold yourself to that person. If we show up, you won't talk much because your website already spoke for you. Welcome back. So this summit was opened up by me, of course, and after me was Aneta Work-Sally, who talked about hope and discipline. You don't want to miss it. So enjoy.
You came here to master what it is that has been given to you as a divine assignment. You've got to do it. It's in your DNA. You've been programmed with it. You can run from it, but you eventually will come back to it. How do you know it's that thing in you to do? Because anytime you do anything else, it'll be a good thing. It may feel good, but it won't satisfy. It won't give you that pleasure, that joy, and it won't have the impact that it's intended to have. You'll know it because the people that you will touch will receive it. And you will look at them and say, oh, okay, this is what I've been destined to do. This is why I am here. How many of you actually know your why? I know, young lady, you said, I'm going to school and I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. But you know you have choices. Ah, okay, that's good. That's good. How many of you actually know your why? What it is that you are on this earth to do? All right now, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Now, I didn't say that you knew all how to do it yet, but you know what you're here to do. Well, you're here today to get some tools, some information, some hands-on, because we can stand up here and talk about it, but until you do it. That's why Bukola made this summit all about you. It's all about you doing what you are destined to do. And I say destined because, like I said, you can't run from it. You can die with it, but you can't run from it. So this is just in case you haven't recently done an assessment. This is a quick assessment. And you need to do this in your life too. This is how you master things. You've got to take time and say, what am I doing today? Okay. What have I done to get where I am? Assess myself. It's okay. You can ask people to help you with that by critiquing you. I get critiqued right after this event. It's important that I get it in that moment because I don't want to walk away feeling, well, okay, I delivered, I was on time, whoop, whoop. But if you all didn't get anything from this, what was my purpose? In order to master hope, You've got to master time. Time. Because if you don't master time, time will master you. Everyone has a beginning date, and everyone has an end date. And everything in between, you may have heard it commonly called what's between the dash. Everybody gonna get that tombstone some kind of way. You're gonna get that. Just as sure as you were born, just as sure as you will die. But now, right here, what's between the dash? And that was from your first breath until your last. What are you gonna do with that dash? We usually say, what do we want people to say about us? But you know, you can get caught up on that, what people think and say about you. It can derail you. It can paralyze you. People's words, people's thoughts, people's looks can paralyze you. So I don't want you to think about what people say. What do I say about who I am? What will, after I'm gone and I stand before my Maker, and this is not about your faith, my faith, this is just about, you're going to have to know, what am I leaving behind? Because like I said, you can die with your dream, you can die with your purpose. Then you lived in vain. Because the people that you are to reach, you've got to reach them. And every day that you draw breath is for a purpose. Ma'am, you said you had 7 children? God bless you. No, and I say that in a good, positive way, not like, oh Lord, God bless you. Yeah. No, I say that because you're doing what God said. Be fruitful and multiply. The seeds and greatness that were placed inside of her, she's delivered 7 of them who have their own seeds of greatness. People look at, like I said, can say, wow, 7 kids, well, we know she ain't do nothing else. Well, I beg to differ. I think she did have a resume that she did share with part of her resume. Motherhood is just one of the things that she embraced, and she did something with it. And the world's going to be a better place because of those 7 seeds who have their own seeds of greatness in them. Like them, each of us have more seeds in us. You've got to plant them. But if you do not master time, time will master you.
Welcome back. If you are just joining me for the first time, this is Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, business, money, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. And I'm your fabulous host today, actually your fabulicious host, Bukola Oriola. And today's episode is featuring the Empowerment and Hope Summit. And the next speaker at the summit was Shade Y. Adu, a brand strategist, talking to the audience about branding and how branding is done, telling stories. Please join me to watch.
Thank you for everyone who is here. I'm super excited. This is my first time in Minnesota, and I'm super pumped. And the reason I'm here is because of social media and putting yourself out there and building an online brand. So that is what I love to do. I love social media, and I've turned it into a business as a full-time doctoral student at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. And in education, not in social media, but I just still love that. And the reality is we live in this digital age and world, and everyone in this room is impacted by the internet and social media and what happens every single day. And if you are a nonprofit leader or an entrepreneur, or you're a wantrepreneur, you want to start a business, but you're just thinking about it, social media is an integral part of marketing your business and your brand today. So I'm super excited to talk about that. I have some notes here. You're in the right place if these are some things that you want to do, or you're thinking about building a brand as a speaker, a coach. You may be in a second part of your life and you're like, I want to do something new. I want to share my message with the world. Social media is a great way. We heard from our first speaker about her son that goes to Google and they're sending him out as an influencer. That is the reality for you too. You can go to Google, I've been there, or My audience told me, how did you do this? How did you build this brand? How did you start traveling? Can you please share that with us? And I said, what are you guys talking about? They said, no, we want to know how to do that. So through a natural urge of people who saw me online sharing my story on Facebook, they wanted to know how they could do the same thing. So that's a key integral part of attracting an audience and clients. Let people tell you what they want and then provide it. Basic, supply and demand. We're going back to basic econ. I used to teach history, and basic supply and demand. Give the people what they want. So a lot of you, people have been telling you things. They come to me and ask me for advice. How do you do this? You know how to do this. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? That's something you more than likely can probably monetize. I love, my theme of my business and things I talk about is always greatness. And greatness for me is the alignment of your purpose, your passion, and your profits. Because if it's purposeful, it should be profitable. If you're passionate about it, you should make some money from it. I call it the hashtag PayPal bling. I like when the PayPal makes a bling in my email. So the reality is you can be purposeful, passionate, and profitable. And a lot of times, especially if we're talking to, which I talk to a lot of women entrepreneurs, we put the profitability on the wayside. The reality is, in order to pay for things in this room, keep the cell phone bill and the lights on, we have to be profitable. So we have to talk about money, especially in a time like this. We have to be serious about that. When we have more and more women entrepreneurs, millennial entrepreneurs going into business, we have to talk about the money. If you really want to know about branding, I boiled it down to 3 things. First, I talk about my favorite quote of them all by Jeff Bezos, the CEO of Amazon.com. Your brand is not about you, it's about what people say about you when you're not in the room. So when you leave this room, what are people saying about you? You can write that down and see people take notes. What are people saying about you? What do you say about yourself? What are people saying about you? And do those 2 things align? Because if there's a misalignment, then there's a problem between what you're branding and your marketing. Your branding is that story. What is that story you're sharing? Bukola has spent her life sharing her story of how she's a survivor. What is your story? All of our stories are different. Some of my story is about me living overseas and going through a quarter-life crisis, wanting to run away, because I didn't want to come back to the U.S. I was going to take a job in Kenya. I was going to take a job in Kyrgyzstan. I was like, I can't come back to the U.S. because I can't handle being in life. So I wanted to run away. And then I realized this nudge can't run away from your purpose. So I had to accept it. And I went back to school and I started my business a month before I left Kazakhstan and a month before my 26th birthday. So what is that story? What do you need to tell people? What kind of spark and light do you need to share with this world? Because the reality is we need great people. That is going to be the core of your brand. That story, that passion, that spark for why you do what you do, why you help the people you help. Entrepreneurs, business owners, you provide a service, and you deserve to be compensated for that service. You help other people. It's just, the money is just a transaction, it's an instrument, it's a tool that we use to provide a service for people.
Welcome back. If you are just joining me for the first time, this is Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, business, money, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. And this episode is featuring the Empowerment and Hope Summit, which held in the Twin Cities 2 weeks ago. And the next speaker at the summit was Dr. Aikina Finch, a social media guru who shared about the importance of social media and monetization. Enjoy.
We're going to cover the 3 basic things: what, why, and how to have social media exposure and profitable social media exposure. That's the thing that you really need to know about anything you do. You need to know what it is you're doing, why you're doing it, and then how you do it. Okay, most people know the what, and most people know the how. Some people don't know the why. And some people know the why, some people know the how, but they don't know the what. Some people know the what, some people know the why, don't know the how. So, you got to find out your combination, but the winning combination is when you know all 3. And so, that's what I'm going to tell you about social media. So, first off, basically, what is social media for a profitable exposure? It is basically you putting it out there on a social media platform in either written, visual, or verbal form. Now, how many of y'all know your verbal social media platforms? YouTube.
Oh,
Periscope.
Okay.
Okay, you got to talk, right?
Yeah, I'm like, I ain't got that on my phone.
I'm just saying, just thinking about it. Most people don't think about it that way. So what's your written platforms? Your Twitters, your Facebooks, things of that nature. What is your visual? That would be Instagram, Pinterest, things of that nature where you go for more pictures. So you need to know where your base is. So where would you say your base is? Do you know where your people are?
Yeah, mine is SoundCloud and Instagram.
Okay.
I would say Facebook, but that's just like common.
Right. But your niche is basically, so you're more visual and audio. Yeah, okay. That's very good.
Yeah.
So you know where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
You know where you're going to get the most interaction, the most engagement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. How many of y'all don't know where your audience is?
I had a question. How would you find that if you don't know? Like, how would you find, like, what else is your place? You also got tools.
Okay, so you would go into, you already know that you're getting in from SoundCloud, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then that also means that you would explore, Vine when it was here.
Mm-hmm.
You would also explore YouTube because that means that people want to listen to your music.
Mm-hmm.
You would also explore Instagram because they do videos now that they do Instagram Live, and they also do the Instagram moments, whatever. So now you're getting that audio and visual at the same time, so that you can upgrade your social media and the Instagram level by 10x because you're giving them the visuals and the sound. So that's kind of how you would go with that. So you would know you're in that area. And then, of course, you could also go to Pinterest. So you could give them a beautiful picture about what your music is, but then they would click that link, and then you would take them where? To your hub, right? So that means that all your music and wherever, or to your SoundCloud, which is really where you want them to go, right? Listen to your music. So from Pinterest, they in love with the picture, hit the thing, go to your SoundCloud, get all of those views, all right? And then if you're monetizing it, then that's even better. Or if you are YouTubing it, you got your video going, you monetize your video, so every time that they come on and click it, you're getting money. So that is a way to leverage your visual and your audio. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So when you say monetize it, what is that exactly?
Is that buying into like YouTube, like buying a subscription or something? Like,
No, it's not buying a subscription. Basically what it is that there is a monetizing feature on YouTube, Blog Talk, if you're on Blog Talk, things of that nature. Basically it's a little program where for each time they listen to your music, your videos, whatever, you get a residual. And then the more that they listen to it, you get up to a certain amount, and then there's a check in your bank.
Welcome back. You've seen it all. You've seen how the event went. It was great. It was awesome. The speakers were powerful. Even I learned a lot being at that summit myself. And you could tell from the testimonials that came afterwards. So take a look at some of the testimonials from the summit, including one from the Director of Entrepreneurship at the Metropolitan State University. So enjoy.
I'm Dr. Denise C. Williams, or Dr. Do, and I am just thrilled about this experience that I just had with Bukola's Empowerment and Hope Summit. It was beyond any of my expectations. The fabulous speakers that came, and social media and branding and hope, and the book, How to Have Your Book First on Amazon. I teach entrepreneurship, and I tell you that these ladies really took it off the chain. I want them to come. I want my students to hear about them. I want the women entrepreneurs that I work with in the Twin Cities and around the world to hear from them, and it's just a fabulous opportunity. So my hat's off to Bukola. She's a student at Metro State, and I'm just thrilled and so excited about her.
So my time here at the Empowerment and Hope Summit has been really great. I think the speakers were all phenomenal, and they really had some great insights on how to build your brand and use social media to actually not only make a profit but actually connect with people and engage with people as well. I think that was something that I really wanted to get out of coming to the summit, just like how to really connect and engage with people. And I really think I got some great tips and ways that I can do that. So I really enjoyed the time.
My name is Don Shumley. Best known as Minnesota. At this empowerment, learning about how to brand yourself, which is going to help me drop 5 tips my sports ad. Something pretty big for the summer. Most people need to come and check this out and get fat on their head. Sign it up. It isn't spoken every day, around every day.
My name is Sharonda Bowden, and I am attending the Empowerment and Hope Summit with Bukola Oriola. I'm very proud to be here, and I'm very excited about all of the information that we were given on empowerment and how to, even as an introvert, and I'm a self-professed introvert, how to actually get our message out there. And I am starting an organization called Artists for Anti-Human Trafficking. And we empower youth, young people, to learn to advocate for victims and survivors of human trafficking through art and any type of media. And because I'm very shy, and when I speak to people, it's been difficult for me to do this, but I learned today that there are ways to do that, very practical ways, and how to promote your message and tell your story, and how important it is to help other people and provide what you have to the masses. And that was one of the very valuable messages I learned today. I love Bukola very much. She is an inspiration to me, and I look forward to the next summit.
Hello, my name is Yvette, and my organization is Healing Words with Yvette, and I enjoyed this summit. It was phenomenal, exceptional, and very empowering. The previous speaker that spoke before me talked about being an introvert. I also am an introvert, and I love that there was a nugget there for me of how to launch my business and take it to scale. So I am extremely excited about going to this next level and meeting all of these powerful and impactful women in the room, and I'm looking forward to the next summit in September. Thank you.
My name is Leah Trombley. I came today with my mom, and I learned a lot about building a business, but also just empowering people and learning how to find the right audience and know what to put out there and what people are looking for. Just how to advertise well and empower others to do the same, I guess. Because that's what I want to do with my business, is just empower others to do the same, because there's a better way of living, and I want everyone to know that.
Hello, my name is Dr. Akina Finch. I do education, motivation, and social media, and I was so honored to be one of the speakers for Bukola's event, Empowerment and Hope Summit. You know, you missed a great treat if you were not here. We learned about social media, we learned about branding, and of course about hope and how hope can take you to the next level. So if you're interested in any of these things, please check out the next Empowerment and Hope Summit in September. I'd love to see you there.
My name is Annette Bender, better known as Grandma to Bukola and to Sammy. I am a friend from church. I am someone who served on the NA10 board. I have been a cheerleader for the gang. They're doing great things. And we had such a beautiful day today. It was inspirational, it was fun, it was informative, and the three speakers just built on one another. Their messages tied in gloriously. So we give God thanks and praise for a beautiful, beautiful day.
So we just finished the Empowerment and Hope Summit. This is the visionary leader, the Honorable Bukola, and she is fabulous. I'm trying to get her shirt so you guys can see it. Tell us about your experience in planning and hosting this event and the level of success that you've been able to have with this event.
Wow, fabulous. That's what I can say, fabulous. And I will say that it's been challenging, but one thing kept me going, persistence. And persistence paid off at the end of the day because I didn't give up. I started planning this since like September, October. No, actually October ending. And I didn't get registration going until January actually. I had one person signed up and then 2 people signed up and 3 people, and the 3 people were there for forever. And those 3 people were not even here in Minnesota. Someone was in the UK, one in Georgia, one in Canada. And I almost gave up, but I didn't. And that's the advice I will give to anybody. Don't give up. Instead, look for other options. How else can you make this work? Napoleon Hill said, if you have a plan and it didn't work, try another plan. Try it again. Welcome back. If you are just joining me for the first time, this is Monday Motivation with Bukola. It's a show about inspiration, women empowerment, beauty, business, money, culture, entertainment, and advocacy. The Empowerment and Hope Summit wouldn't have been so glorious and so empowering and even possible without our sponsors. We are very grateful to our sponsors, Anoka Ramsey Community College, Metropolitan State University, St. Thomas University, Damola's Kitchen, Anoka Hennepin Credit Union, and Bukola Braiding. So we're really grateful to all our sponsors during this event. It was a great event and we're so grateful. And if you would like to be a sponsor of the upcoming Empowerment and Hope Summit, please connect with us at info@bukolaoriola.com to see how you can be a part of that summit to position your brand or your business for empowerment, because it's all about empowering everybody in the community. And I want to use this opportunity to thank all the attendees, both the virtual attendees and the live attendees. Thank you so much, because if you were not there in the room, there will be no Empowerment and Hope Summit, even if you have sponsors. So we are grateful to all our sponsors. We're grateful to all the attendees. Some of them have said they're coming back again. You know, the evaluation was really awesome. Thank you so much. And we are taking some of the feedback into action. We are actually going to put some of the feedback into action in September. So for example, in September, there's going to be additions of learning how to do Canva. That will be an addition. Having a business lawyer in the room to share about business law and how to protect yourself and your business. And also we're going to be having somebody talking specifically about monetization so that you can see all the different opportunities open to you in terms of multiple streams of income, like you've always heard, and monetization. What really is monetization? You're going to learn more about that and how to use the social media, how to start your brand. We're going to be doing more also about that at the September Summit. So register today. Go to the website. Empowerment and Hope Summit now has its own standalone website. It's called empowermentandhopesummit.com. So go there and register today. And I will see you next week on another edition of Monday Motivation with Bukola. Stay fabulous.